Hi, my lovelies, and welcome back to my little corner of the internet where we mainly talk about books and sometimes travels, but mainly books. Today, we are ranking Alice Feeney's books. Now, I've done rankings on my Instagram page of my favorite authors for quite a while now, and they are quite popular. When I know you quite enjoy it when I do that. So, I posted a poll on my story of which author I should rank first on YouTube, more like long form. So I've got a bit more time to talk about each books and why I like them and why I didn't, or obviously most of them I have liked. And yeah, and you guys voted for Alice Feeney. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to start with my least favorite, although like I would say like Alice Feeney is one of my absolute favorite authors and she's one of my auto buys. I would never not buy one of her books that she writes. So it's all like the worst is still very good. I also one of my book friends, Carly, the pastel bookshelf, she did one of these recently, and I would highly recommend you go and watch hers as well because it's always so interesting to see which books people like best. Like I think that's one of my favorite things about reading. It's my favorite might be completely different to yours and that's okay. Like that's brilliant. I think that's so cool. I think it's so interesting. Like I love it when my friends say to me, "Oh, I didn't like this book," or if it's a book that I didn't like and they're like, "Oh my god, I loved it." And I'm like, "Tell me why, please." So I love it. And obviously bear in mind watching this video that my favorite books or my least favorite book might be completely different to yours. So yeah, just these are my opinions and this is my ranking of the books. So yeah, let's get into it. I feel like I say yeah a lot. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. I'm still not very good at these. Starting at number 8, my least favorite would have to be I Know Who You Are by Alice Feeney. Now, this has a very controversial ending, and some people really like it, and some people don't. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't. I really didn't like it. I liked the start of the book and I was really into it. It's a usual, twisty kind of Alice Feeney vibes. But the ending made me want to vomit. And it just wasn't, it just wasn't for me. And that's fine. Like, it just, it was one of those books where I had such high expectations, but then the end was just such a letdown, I thought. And the twist was just gross. So for me, this one is actually quite like more like a no than a maybe, but it might be yours. It just we follow this woman called Amy Sinclair. She's an actress. So meet Amy Sinclair, the actress. Everyone think they know, but can't remember where from, except one person. Someone knows Amy very well. They know who she is and they know what she did. When Amy comes home and discovers her husband is missing, she doesn't seem to know what to do or how to act. The police think she's hiding something, and they're right, she is, but perhaps not what they thought. Amy has a secret she's never shared, and yet she suspects that someone knows. As she struggles to keep her career and sanity intact, her past comes back to haunt her in ways more dangerous than she could have ever imagined. So the premise is great, right? Like, it sounds good, but just go into it expecting a bit of a controversial ending. And you might love it. You might actually love it. So that's fine, but not me. Number 7 for me was Good Bad Girl. This this I didn't hate this one. It just wasn't quite as exciting as her other books. It's I don't know. I read it and I just felt like, "Nah, it's okay. It's okay." But it wasn't like as exciting or as good as her other books. But this one basically, 4 women must solve a mystery with 3 suspects, 2 murder, and 1 victim. 20 years after her baby is stolen from a stroller, a woman is murdered. The 2 crimes are somehow linked. A good bad girl might be the key to solving both mysteries, but can she and the other women involved find out what happened before it's too late? If they do, they might just discover the truth about the baby who disappeared, the mother who lost her, and the connection that bind them. It just, if I'm really honest, I don't remember much about this book, and that's always a sign that it wasn't that great. And I think I rated like 3.5 stars or something. It was fine. It just wasn't very good to me. I just I don't think I could I don't think I was that gripped. So, not a hate, like not like I don't feel as strongly about this one as I did this one, but more like it was a little bit forgettable. But yeah, we move. In six, it's Sometimes I Lie. This was one of the more recent ones I read. I think I read that in the summer. And I didn't hate it. So that's a start. I didn't dislike it. I think it was maybe overhyped for me. I think I went in expecting a lot and it fell a little bit flat. Now, the premise was brilliant and I think the twist was quite good, but it doesn't like, I would not pick it up again. Like, I wouldn't be dying to read again this book because, yeah, uh, it was okay. Like, you can tell it's her first book. That was her debut, I think. And I sort of can see that. Like, it was really good, but also, like, it's not as good as her later ones. But this one, obviously, the blurb is, "My name is Amber Reynolds. There are 3 things you should know about me. I'm in a coma. My husband doesn't love me anymore. And sometimes I lie." So, yeah. So, you go in knowing that it's going to be potentially like an unreliable narrator. And yeah, I mean, it was fine. Like, I still would recommend this one. I didn't hate it. I didn't dislike it. It was just maybe not as memorable as her other books. But yeah, now the top 5 was like really hard to pick. And I think that it sort of switches around quite a lot. I think like 5 and 4 tend to like change around. So I think we'll do them at the same time. So I think 5 and 4 would be Daisy Darker and His and Hers. Now, if I do His and Hers as 5th, this was really good. The twist, I loved it. I loved the book, and I remember this book. I remember how good it was. 3 words to describe my wife: beautiful, ambitious, unforgiving. I only need 1 word to describe my husband: liar. Now, this was a bit of a past going into the present and all lots of different mysteries and lots of different dark secrets that are coming back. And I really, really enjoyed that. I liked the drama and the chaos around this book. It is now a very popular Netflix show, which I haven't watched yet, and I will watch it. But this is one, yeah, I would recommend it. And I think it says, when a woman is murdered in Blackdown Village, newsreader Anna Andrews is reluctant to cover the case. Anna's ex-husband, DCI Jack Harper, is suspicious of her involvement until he becomes a suspect in his own murder investigation. Someone is lying, and some secrets are worth killing to keep. So yeah, I mean, it was good. It was a good book, and it's in my top 5. And I think I rated it 5 star. I think it was 4.5, maybe 4, maybe 5. No, 4, I think 4 or 5. But I rated it highly. So yeah, and then number 4, I guess, would be Daisy Darker. Now, I know Daisy Darker is a very much of a Marmite kind of book because I think some people love it or some people hate it. I loved it. The twist at the end really made it for me. It's not often that I read a book and I'm like, but with this one it was super gripping. And also you just don't really know which way it's going. It's about, Daisy Darker's family were as dark as can be. When one of them died, all of them lied and pretended not to see. Daisy Darker is arriving at her grandmother's house for her 80th birthday. It is Halloween, and Sea Glass, the crumbling Cornish house perched upon its own tiny private island, is at one with the granite rocks it sits on. The Darker family haven't all been in the same place for over a decade, and when the tide comes in, they'll be cut off from the rest of the world for 8 hours. when the tide goes back out, nothing will ever be the same again because one of them is a killer. So, I mean, if you like, and there were none to tell, and were none left to tell by Agatha Christie, this has quite a similar vibe, sort of. But basically, yeah, they're stuck on this island and people die, and you don't know what's happened. And then the end twist was just such a shocking moment for me that it changed my view of the entire book. And I think I think if you read it, it could go either way. I think it could make you love it even more, or it could make you really dislike it. It made me really like it. So I would obviously recommend this one. Highly recommend this one. Also, how pretty is this cover? I recently bought it because I used to have the like yellow and black one, and I didn't like that one. But this one is so cute and it's so much more relevant to the book. Now, in third position is Rock, Paper, Scissors. Again, probably one of my favorite twists ever in any books. It's a really short and gripping read. It's one of those books where you're going to read it and then you're going to have to go back and check what you read, because that's what I was like. Especially when the twist came, it was one of those jaw dropping moments where you're thinking, oh, oh, and then everything just falls into place. And I love these kinds of books. 10 Years of Marriage, 10 Years of Secret, an anniversary they'll never forget. Adam and Amelia are spending the weekend in the Scottish Highlands. The remote location is perfect for what they have planned. But when their romantic trip takes a dark turn, they both start to wonder, can they trust the one they're with? Because every couple tells little white lies. Only for Adam and Amelia, the truth is far more dangerous. So yeah, I would. And I mean, I think this one would be actually a really good introduction to Alice's books. This is a really good intro to her like jaw dropping twists, and also just the way she writes. And it's also such an easy read. So yeah, this would be number 3 for me. Now in the top 2, until very recently, my top 2 was my top 1, and that's Beautiful Ugly. I know this one is not for everybody. I think her books are quite like that. They're quite polarizing. I think for this one, I loved the end. I loved how I loved it. I loved the twist. I loved it. Like as I was reading it, it was just like you don't know which way it's going. But even more so when the twist actually comes, it was just like, okay, I'm going with this. Like, and I think when you read Alice Feeney's book, you have to sort of expect a little bit of like unexpected, if that makes sense. It was just, I don't know, like I really liked the end. I really liked how it all came together. So in this one, author Grady Green is having the best day of his life. Grady calls his wife as she is driving home to share some exciting news. He hears Abby slam on the brake and gets out of the car, then nothing. When he eventually finds her car by a cliff edge, the headlights are on, the driver door is open, her phone is still there, but his wife has disappeared. A year later, Grady is still overcome with grief and desperate to know what happened to Abby. He can't sleep and he can't write, so he travels to a tiny Scottish island to try to get his life back on track. There, he sees the impossible, a woman who looks exactly like his missing wife. Wives think their husband will change, but they don't. Husbands think their wives won't change, but they do. So yeah, I really liked it. Also, like how beautiful is this cover? And I obviously had to get the beautiful spread age. Now, it will come at no surprise which one is my number 1. My Husband's Wife. I read this in essentially one sitting. I was so gripped. I loved how the storylines came together. I loved the twist. I loved the premise. I loved the setting. I absolutely loved everything about this book. And I people will say it's overhyped. I think it's appropriately hyped. I don't really know anyone who hated that book. Like some people were like, it's okay. like 4 star or 3.5, but I don't know anyone that hated it out of like my book friends. So I don't know. I feel like when a book is this good and consistently gets such high reviews, like it's just not a hype. Like it was just so clever. It's about this woman called Eden who goes out on a jog and she always just goes running with one key in her pocket. She doesn't want to take her phone. She doesn't take all like car keys and everything. She just takes her one like front door key. And she comes back from her run, tries to open the door, and the key doesn't fit into the door lock. So she's thinking, eh. Then someone opens the door and it's a woman that sort of looks like her, but it's not her. And then she sees her husband come to the door and her husband says, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" And she's like, "It's me." And he's there saying like that he's basically like his wife is the woman that opened the door. So she's Eden's thinking, well, I'm not going crazy. Like this is my house and that's my husband. Who is that woman and why is he acting like he doesn't know me? So yeah, it was really good. And then we also have the storyline of Birdie, which is based 6 months before the current timeline. And she's like a recluse Londoner. Um, she inherits spyglass. The unexpected gift from a long lost grandmother brings her to hopefuls. But then Birdie stumbles upon a shadowy London clinic that claims to be able to predict a person's date of death, including her own. Secrets start to unravel, and as the line between truth and lies blur, Birdie feels compelled to right some old wrongs. So, yeah. And it all comes together so beautifully and so perfectly, like in such a Alice Feeney kind of way that it was incredible. Like I went to an event with that was actually organized by Community Good Books in York, where Alice was there and Steph McGovern and talked about the book. And I think she said that this was being turned into a series or a movie or something like that. And I think it will work so well as a movie or a series. Um, so yeah, and I mean, I got this book signed, which was so nice. And it was so lovely to hear Alice talk about her, her experience and her writing processes. And I'll put a picture here of when I met her. And yeah, it was honestly so lovely, and it was really interesting to hear because I know she spoke about Daisy Darker, and she said that it took her so long to write Daisy Darker, like it took her years and years and years, and that was really interesting because it's one of my favorites by her. So it was really, really cool to hear the process behind the books that we love. Um, but yeah, you can't go wrong with My Husband's Wife. I actually have 2 copies of it because I was very lucky to receive one from the publisher, and then I already had pre-ordered my own um from the independent bookshop ones. So yeah, I mean that's Alice's books all here. Yeah, let me know in the comments which one is your favorite by Alice and which one's your least favorite. I'm really intrigued by that. Please in the comment let me know your top Alice Feeney book and your least favorite Alice Feeney book. And yeah, it'll be really interesting to see where your ranking stands compared to mine. And yeah, if you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble on about Alice's books. Um, and yeah, and I think the next author ranking I will do will be Charlie Donnelly, my favorite, my absolutely favorite author. So yeah, watch the space. Don't forget to subscribe. And I hope you have a fabulous day, evening, night, whatever time you're watching this.